Hi, Margaret. This
Hello.
is Margaret Ocilia with Creative. You give the name. You give us your info.
Creative Concepts, home staging and contracting.
Yeah, might as well let you do it. You have the floor. How are you?
We're doing great.
Good, good. We've been doing some of these interviews for people that we work with on a regular basis, and they're posted online. And it's been fun. We've had a lot of positive feedback. And I have to say, you were like one of my favorites. I was like, oh my gosh, we got to get Margaret on here. And I have to somehow talk Heather into letting me do her too, so people can meet her. But I don't know.
Great.
I don't know if I'll be successful. Tell us a little bit about your business.
So we started about 15 years ago. We actually remodeled homes full time, and then we started staging them. And one thing led to another. And 15 years later, we have staging inventory for about 95 homes and all the design teams and movers and everything that goes with that. And then also we manage primarily prepare to sell remodels.
Yeah.
And that's our specialty is trying to help people prepare to sell.
Yeah, and all the realtors know of you. I mean, you've been really good about educating all of the real estate positions and the realtors in the community for a long time. And you're up and down I-5, how far?
Well, we've staged from Portland to Lincoln City down to Eugene.
Yeah, primarily where's your ideal territory?
Salem, Albany, Corvallis is definitely our preferred. But you know, if you have a listing and it's at the coast, we go
Yes.
there. You know?
Yes, if I took a listing and I called you, you're not going to turn me down, right?
Exactly. No.
Okay, great. And so talk to us a little bit. We've been using terminology pre-COVID, during COVID, post-COVID. So I know, some of the people viewing this video might not know how we operated pre-COVID. So I think that those days are behind us. I mean, what do you think?
I think there's a lot of things that have changed, and people's expectations and what they're comfortable with has also changed. And also we found some efficiencies that we've gained as well in this time, and taking use of technology and things like that as well. So I think there's definitely been some good things that have come from this.
Yeah, I think there have been a lot of good things as well. And I mean, we have some things that we were virtual before, but now that everyone else is becoming virtual, we're just really hoping that they don't go back because it's so much more efficient.
So we were in the when this really when COVID really shut down started happening and everything, for our staging side of the business, I spend a huge amount of my time doing in-person consultations. And so overnight we were saying we weren't going to be doing any in-home consultations, and then had to come up with a platform to do virtual. And what was really interesting is that immediately that first week, I had agents from Portland, agents I'd never worked with, that I started doing virtual consultations for because they were in need. And the really great thing is that we've done a lot of consultations. So while there's a little bit less that we can actually see, I can't see that the baseboards are dirty, for example, unless they put them up there. But I know to say, okay, let's look at those baseboards, that kind of stuff. And so we have found that the virtual consultations are really efficient and effective. And especially for some people that have been really hard to schedule, that, maybe they don't get home from work until late. And then, it's really difficult because okay, can you come at 7 p.m.? Well, it's hard for us. It's been so much easier, right?
Drive there,
right.
30 minutes there, 30 minutes back. It's harder to schedule those appointments.
Exactly. And so we've had a lot more flexibility. I usually spend 2 to 3 days a week physically in Albany, Corvallis area. And so I'm not doing that near as much now. So yes, I'm not driving as much, but.
So are people, tell me, like, as a consumer, like when they schedule with you, are they on their phone then so they can take you around the house, or are they using an iPad or a laptop?
Usually they're using their phone because it's easy to hold.
Yeah.
Then if they don't have someone else in the house, sometimes I'll take some notes just so we can keep them concentrated on what they're looking at and what I'm saying and things like that. And then there has been some people that I've offered, you know, I can do virtual or in person. And they're, you know, I think that while some agents have a really comfort level that's much higher than others with going into homes and things like that, a lot of people still aren't super comfortable with it. And I think it's going to be a long time for some people.
Yeah. And everybody has different thresholds.
Absolutely. And I think that just really respecting that, what our clients feel comfortable with, and honoring that, and really helping them still get the resources that they need so they can prepare to sell.
Well, and it's more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
It's more efficient. So what do you think, are there any other positives that have come out of this?
Let me, I did take some notes. Let me think. I think that one thing that this has really brought to light is that I think that, you know, sometimes we, in our efficiencies, we don't communicate enough. Yeah. And I think that I like doing Zoom calls with my clients so that they can see me. You know, sometimes text and emails, it gets lost. And I think that people have missed some of that interpersonal thing. And so I think it's made communication all the more important. And also in our business of presenting homes, it's made us, and it's made home sellers realize that their home is maybe not going to get even shown because people aren't going to 30 houses to look at anymore. They're literally making a decision based on photos. And I tell you, people are hanging on every word of a consultation because they're really getting this now, where before maybe it's like, hey, this is a seller's market. Well, you and I both know it's really still a good market, but you know, the process for buying is a little different.
It is. And you know, there's just so many positives, but I think, like you're saying, people are more in tune with what we're saying. And I think the message has always been there, but they're getting it now. When I tell a person, you can completely prepare your home to sell, and we can pay extra, as the realtor, we can pay extra and knock it out of the park on digital products with the 3D imaging and the Matterports and the walk and talks and the luxury videos and the drone. They're getting it now. And now we have more examples. Heather did one, and I don't want to say the address on the video. Heather did a rather large home for us and did the walk and talk appointment with the seller. The home was full because all of our homes are full. We live in them. Nobody lives like they are online. And so I think now that it's been done longer, I think people are getting that this is expected. This you cannot get by any longer not preparing your home to sell. They did every single thing she said, knocked it out of the park. We didn't repaint or anything like that, but I'm just talking about packing up, purging, and organizing and staging it for the videos and the photos. Mm-hmm. They sold their home online to a guy in Kansas who bought it 100% virtual. Their realtor didn't even physically come in the home. Yeah. And I just did they moved out. I just did the video walkthrough to show them that how clean it was, and it's vacant and it's clean. And they signed this morning with a mobile notary, and then they're driving out here. I mean, it's fantastic. And this has been getting done across the country in, second markets, second home markets, and things like that. And new construction. Look how long we've been selling new construction, with the board. Yep. So yep. I think the virtual is here to stay. And I'm doing everything I can by trying to encourage our local realtors, in that private Facebook group, to just really grab all of the products that are available. You always give great out-of-the-box solutions and answers. I mean, and I think that you're a tremendous resource. And the fact that you've been giving of your time like you have to the real estate community is phenomenal to me. I just thank you, because you're serving so many and you're always giving. I've never seen you cranky. Do you never get tired?
I don't, you know what, I'm pretty passionate about what we do. I truly love, there's nothing that makes me much happier than the success that if we can help a client.
Yeah.
And I have to say one of my saddest appointments ever, and it was probably 10 years ago, but I still remember it. I was walking through a home with an older woman and talking about why her house hadn't sold, and it had been on the market for a very long time, and it had dated things. It needed some, it definitely needed to have some freshening. And the home seller was in tears with me. Mm-hmm. And she said, I'm not crying because of what you're telling me. I'm crying because I wish my agent would have told me this 6 months ago, because I would have done it.
Yeah.
And so, while I think that being, presenting those kinds of things the right way so that people don't get hurt feelings and things like that is important. And sometimes it's hard. But I do think that, for example, this woman, we did do some things. We staged her home. It got sold quickly. Everybody was happy. And so we are pretty passionate about what we do. And we just see a huge amount of success. And even during COVID, we've had some amazing things happen. I know you have too. We staged a house that was on the market for a year. The price stayed the same. It did come off the market, went back on. Luxury listing. The minute that those new photos went back on and it was presented well, the agent's phone was ringing off the hook and had all these showings, hadn't had any. It was under contract. I believe it was in 3 to 5 days after a year.
Yeah. And that price point's looking at having 10 months worth of inventory.
Yeah.
So serious competition.
Oh, it keeps me from being too cranky.
Well, that's nice.
What makes me cranky is bad listing photos. That does make me cranky.
Yeah. Talk to us about paint colors and trending colors. Is there?
Hey, paint colors. We've been doing grays and grays and grays for a really long time. And that's been wildly popular. Once we got out of the brown phase and now I have to say we're in a little harder phase, I think, for specifying, prepare to sell colors, because really a lot of the paints that we're looking at are more of the off-whites. That's definitely the big trend into having much lighter walls than we have seen for a very, very long time. And so lots of times when I'll go in, if they have like a creamy color of trim, then, we'll even have walls maybe lighter than the trim sometimes. But it's continuing to be very light. And, I think that part of what's come also from the COVID is that people really they want decluttered, they want restful, they've been looking around their house. We have gotten so many calls for people wanting to remodel because they're sitting around their house looking at, their spaces. But I think as they're looking online at houses for sale, the houses that look light and bright and peaceful with these really soft greens, soft blues, whites, creams, pale grays, that's what really people love. If we're looking at the pictures that people like on Instagram love of our stuff, that's the look.
Are you going to be holding any classes on paint colors and how to, what the importance of those undertones are?
Oh man, we could talk for hours about that, couldn't
I
we?
know. That might be a good class.
Stay away from those yellow undertones.
Yeah. What are some things that people can do while preparing their home to come to market? I mean,
some of the
how you clean for the housekeeper?
Yeah, exactly.
If they want to prepare before you come, what are some?
Well, I think part of it is that lots of times in our own homes, we've had projects maybe that we didn't finish or ideas that we were going to do and things like that. And so, if people haven't started that or got that going, it's like, oh, the inside of this closet looks so ratty. I really need to paint it and buy some cute totes for it and make it look nice. Well, do it. You don't have to even go to the store. Just go online and buy some baskets. But cuteness sells. Cuteness, if we have a pantry all organized and decked out with organizers or cute little baskets, when people are viewing a house like that, they're always going, oh, look at this, how cute it is.
Yeah.
It gives that image. And so, doing some of those things, and even if you're not selling right now, you get joy out of going into your closet and having, cute organizer or cute totes or things like that, baskets and things like that.
Do it for your own enjoyment.
Exactly. Yeah. I know that everybody has been decluttering. I think that everybody's, and there's lots of donations sites that are opening up more and charities that are starting to pick up and stuff like that. And there have been some that have been even open during COVID too, but that's always number one, pre-packing.
Yeah.
Pre-packing the stuff you don't need.
And buynothingproject.org, is that site that then takes you to your neighborhood Facebook group. You can get rid of everything for free. And so that's the fastest way to get rid of stuff.
Exactly.
Free.
Exactly.
And it's not worth their time to be trying to sell stuff for cheap stuff. And then Facebook Marketplace is a great source. Everything sells really fast there with photos. How do you think that the pandemic is going to affect future renovations?
I think that people more than ever want to have a more comfortable and home that they love.
Yeah. What do you think about his and her dens? I've been joking around here that, oh no, the new trend, I think it's going to be his and her dens.
I think the home office is bigger than ever. And yeah, definitely. And so maybe that guest room that was always a guest room now has a Murphy bed and really has office number 2 in there instead of, because I think that there's going to be a lot of businesses that are going to have a long transition to where people maybe they always are working from home or at least a couple days a week. And we do like to have our own space and be able to have it be comfortable and nice. And I think that from what the calls that we've been getting over the last few weeks, people are really desiring to put money into their home and make it a better place. I'm not seeing a lot of fear that, the economy is going down the tube, and I'm seeing, hey, we want to make our home better, and we want to keep improving it, whether to sell or to.
Yeah, we're going to take this vacation money that we had planned on vacationing, and we're going to put it into our space. Have you had many calls for outdoor spaces, outdoor screens, outdoor?
Well, we've had some where what they want to like enclose patios or patio covers and making it so that, we can have our TV and lounge place outside and have that, even though we live in Oregon and it's, we may need a nice furry blanket to be watching TV.
Yeah. And those heat lamps, those are those propane lamps are cheap at Costco. I mean,
Yeah, they are.
so how booked out are you for jobs? I know this is going to be date sensitive.
For remodels,
Yeah, for
we're about a month out.
oh, that's good.
Just
You guys are quick.
We just finished that big job, as you know.
I'm very grateful. Very, very grateful.
We did Laura's mom's house.
Moved her to my street. I know. And we could have never, ever pulled that off without you.
Well,
It's
a gem, and the house before and after is worthy of an award.
I know. So we need to do some before and after video and photos. That'll be fun. Okay, great. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add? How do people contact you? I've always done virtual appointments, but I love when great people like you have their scheduling on their website. So I'm in my listing appointments, and we just click on your website and schedule in the upper right-hand corner under, what is it, consultations?
Contact, yeah.
Contact,
book a consultation. So
yeah.
Our website is easy to remember too, stagingoregon.com.
Okay.
And yes, and we do have our schedule there. And if there's not, if there's not an appointment time, then they can just shoot us a contact from that, and then we'll get in touch with them the next day. Or also, if they want a vacant staging estimate, there's a contact form there also that we can just give them a good ballpark of the cost to stage and stuff.
Yeah. When will you go back to staging in person?
We are staging vacant. We're vacant staging. We have been all along.
Okay, vacant staging, just not furnished.
We're taking in furniture into vacant homes.
Yeah. And occupied homes that need staging, do you have a plan for when you'll go back to doing that?
So it's kind of on a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
We did one for you during COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it's kind of a case-by-case basis, and it's not something that we're, right now, our team just, to stay in operation, we also have to make sure that our team feels really safe and good all the time. If one of our small little team got sick, then we would all be quarantined, and then that's no good either.
Right. Well, and everything's on a case by case, we went from weekly to daily to now hourly basis, everything's always changing.
Yeah, it is.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much. You guys all know how to reach Margaret on her website, stagingoregon.com.
Thank you.
Okay.